All right, so we're looking at what the old MFA and just general Oz neo-fascists are up to for the past week. So starting off, we're not actually going to watch. Uh, so these guys did a debate. Dusty, who runs Aussie Suns. All right, so Dusty, who runs Aussie Suns, I think he's done stuff with running for Parliament. I don't know. I think he tries to be like a bit more serious, but like he still does like the Christo-fascist shit. He was moderating it. Then we have Shallow Chow, Scotty Chow, whatever, up here, top right. He is one of the debate people. Uh, Arguing in favor of nationalism without like ethno-nationalism, like not having it be a focus on like race and blood and whatnot. What's news? His name's Lawrence, from what I've gathered. From what I've gathered, it's actually what they're calling. He is the guy in favor of ethno-nationalism. He doesn't like being called a Nazi. I noticed. Scotty called him a Nazi a lot. He doesn't like being called a Nazi, but yeah, ethno-nationalist probably would agree with like, being a white nationalist or something like that. I don't know if he says he's a white supremacist, but it doesn't really matter in regards to what he says because, yeah, you'll notice he's got like a drum kit behind him. I'm not going to show, but I did look into some trying to find like personal accounts of his, which I did find one, and it turns out he's a musician, which is really weird. It's just really weird. Yeah. Uh, yeah, I was about to play it. We're not going to watch it because I'm not really all that interested, you see, in talking about, I guess, what we would say is like the debate itself. What I'm more interested in looking at is actually how people have reacted post this. So there was a big debacle or whatever, a big point of contention in the debate about this whole thing of ethno-nationalism versus civic nationalism. And Chris Scoveries is like a journo amongst them, from what I can tell. He does journalism. I don't know, but he's a right winger. Anyways, I don't know if he's done this drawing. Someone's went to the effort of doing a whiteboard drawing of this, and like, they've they've got good skill. There's no doubt about it. They know how to draw, and there's the detail. You can see it, and it's impressive. It's just really fucking depressing that this is what they're dedicating it to. Like, they have raw talent here, and they're dedicating it to drawing out fucking like romantic romantic depictions of the great white Australian policy, or the Anzac spirit and whatnot. It's just such a waste. Uh, Let me see if I can just can I yeah, cool. Hang on. Let's make sure. Oh God, it's going to be a little bit out of order, but that's okay. Yeah, and so he goes on to explaining his like Chris Discoveries, that is, goes on to explaining like his take on the whole thing. Um, that is what it is. I don't really care. Again, not really that important. Uh, People didn't like that Scotty jumped straight to calling him Nazi. Uh, People are basically, and when I say people, I mean like MFA supporters. And I'm just going to use that as a brand, as an overall umbrella term. MFA supporters, or fuck it, maybe just nationalists, even Australian nationalists. Uh, they really didn't like that Scotty is not down for Nazism. So like that's where he draws the line. Because you see, this has come out of the whole Queensland breakaway thing, and no matter what, it seems they can't really put a lid on it. Like it seems like whether it's people from the breakaway team are throwing shit their way, or MFA are throwing shit the other way. And I'm not picking sides. There's no side to pick here. This is a fun thing to watch from afar as a leftist. Uh, but you're fucking retarded, mate. Jesus Christ. Yeah, it got heated apparently. Um, So yeah, again, we got so ethno-nationalism, we have blood, lineage, genetics, the White Australia policy. Then with Shalo Chow's Scotty's take, it was civic nationalism, so values, character, mateship, Anzac spirit, which is funny because like that has been even before like woke. That was kind of the take of Australia or like Australian nationalism or whatever was like its values and our Australian character, our mateship, and the Anzac spirit. So I find it interesting that, like to be clear, I don't really believe there's such thing as civic nationalism. Like, I mean, maybe there is in like some academic circles, like they actually recognize that as some sort of distinction. But like, as with a lot of not even necessarily fringe political beliefs of the spectrum, but really anything. There's all these different minuscule, like carved out subsections of these categories, but really at the end of the day, they're all the same. And I think when they're talking about civic nationalism, I personally see like what the way they describe it with that sort of stuff. I actually just see it as a nationalist liberal, like not necessarily an LNP liberal, though I would say John Howard back in his prime ministership is a perfect example of what I would point to as a nationalist liberal. And so this whole MFA thing when it first started with like August 31st really was a coalition. No, I'm not even putting any judgment to this. Coalition of basically nationalist liberals, Australian nationalist liberals, fascists, people who have no idea what the fuck they really believe, um, people who don't really know what the fuck they believe, but also are extremely swayed by uh, their emotions and have been caught up in the whole anti-woke uh, AI slop shit now. Now is what it typically is. And then you're Nazis. And you're seeing the nationalist liberals now going, yeah, okay. I don't like the left. I have a lot of disagreements with them. That's the reason why we all came together, right? But but surely the Nazi thing is not on. The problem is you can't. Um, the thing I find is the problem that you always run into, and it's not even the fact that I would say like Scotty is really just a liberal with nationalist tendencies. Um, the problem here is whenever you got a bunch of nationalists, just nationalists, straight nationalists, and that's what this all is, it always inevitably spirals into Nazism or its own flavor of it. Because Nazism is, if we want to be really specific, is a particular flavor of fascism, ultimately. And fascism is a very advanced form of nationalism. I mean, I guess it also is nationalism incorporated with other things. So, to give us now a bit more of an idea of Lawrence or What's News, um, he's not a Nazi. He is not with the NSN. However, he is very concerned about Joel Davis, who recently has also been nabbed by police and has been denied bail. What was it? Despite during that time he will miss his child's birth. And so yeah, more criminal than the actual bloody post. Not letting him witness the birth of his firstborn is disgusting. Joel did nothing wrong. Keep in mind, and he's sharing Ozpill, um, Heath Logan or something like that. Anyway, him of also being very upset about this. Let's see, can I get I'm gonna just yeah. And so the reason that uh I'm not happy with having that word up, which this is, you know, investigative purposes here. The reason that he's been Joel Davis, that is, he's been taken into custody or whatever the cops would even sort say, is he made a post, which has apparently since been deleted on Telegram or whatever, about his supporters need to rhetorically rape an MP who was a woman, obviously. I imagine. Doesn't really matter anyway. And that's what he's been caught for. I'm not going to make comment on like freedom of speech and the police having the ability to fucking arrest you over this. Um, the police already have way too much power than they already have when it comes to our right to free speech. We already don't have a right to free speech. Um, there. So I don't care. I don't care. Um, as we can see here, rhetorical rape is apparently some fucking theory. I'm about to bring it up. Rape, verbal violations of the Pandocracy. I have a wild feeling I already know what this is about to be. Right. Let me just search the. Yeah. Um, all right. So let's just. It's apparently a what was it again? I'm not looking at the thing. Apparently a theory, a specific term on how to analyze certain media personalities, on how certain use verbal tactics to overpower, dominate. Okay, so in other words, overpower and dominate in the free marketplace of ideas, I imagine, is the general gist of what he was getting at. So I'm just looking at, let's see, Barry Pollock. Independent researcher. No, that's a different guy. Maybe just a wiki. No, who's the other guy? Daniel Broody. Oh, hang on. Wikipedia. Wait, what has this got to do with anything? On such authors. Ah! Who also co-edits Propaganda in Focus. Former professor who has promoted 9/11 conspiracy theories and disputed the use of chemical weapons in the Syrian civil war. Why does he not get a fucking Wikipedia article about him? Yeah, I'm going to assume that this, how ideologically balanced the guest is. This list is the ratio of time devoted to calls. How propagandistic his show is. Might affect civic events. Okay, I have a feeling this could be something that Yeah, okay. Limbaugh, Schultz, Combs, Hannity. Yeah, that okay. Referring to how they talk to other people. That's so very interesting. So, like, there is a theoretically, like, the technically, he didn't actually say anything wrong and didn't actually threaten or encourage violence or whatever. But um, it's interesting because apparently the book that is was created, that was written, that came up, that coined this idea was written so referring to four most likely right wing, two of them especially I recognize it as right wing, um, radio pundits, and oh yeah, and two TV pundits, O'Reilly and Oberman. Okay, I can't remember, but O'Reilly was definitely right wing, and basically just talking about how they over domineer and dominate people in a conversation. So yeah, okay, interesting. All right, that's for later. So that's what rhetorical, yeah, you know, that's what that means. So, and going back to the actual debate they had, I guess, um, now they're blocking one another or something like that. Uh, I guess not much of a surprise there. So there's been the big falling out between Lawrence and Scotty because of their debate. Oh yes, more political persecution because of oh dear, Joel Davis got fucking. I mean, keep in mind he's most likely a pedophile. He advocates for lowering the age of consent to 14 for girls, but for boys 16. So yeah, let's see. Can we? So then we have the switcheroo, where then Lawrence or What's News is getting a bit of the slack coming at him. Makes it worse. The fact that, oh yeah, What's News was sharing a video. Quite a few of them were a faked video because there are rumors of Scotty smoking meth. I don't know exactly, and they basically like, I don't know if he did it, someone else probably did it, where they've just like butchered a bunch of like footage together to make it look like he's smoking meth, and it's memed out, and they've just were posting it and whatnot. And so Scotty's upset about that. Um, so as you can see here, that makes it worse, Lauren, is the fact that you know he doesn't and then post videos inferring he does, shows the type of person you are at the core, whatever point you're trying to make with my bio was a clear miss. Okay, so when can we finally joke about this topic freely? Never. Scott even said he trolled the subject himself with that Substack post and Insta bio, so what's the big deal? Stop crying, wolf. This is beyond banter. Banter would have been the Tyrannosaurus joke. There was something about a sex Tyrannosaurus or whatever, trans Tyrannosaurus. I can't remember. That in the debate. But he's gone and put up the meth post, which is not his and the subject of legal action. It's a joke and it's purely for community purposes. I don't think he smokes meth. Nice job fighting to protect the erosions of our freedoms or whatever. And there's that there. So we're having further infighting again. Oz integrity is Queensland for reference. Then we have that. Yep, Joel did nothing ever wrong. Joel never did anything wrong, not at all.
The thing with this, right,
All right.
is I've been doing
So
events in Brisbane for like
then we
3 years
have.
now.
Why are we not
So
hearing shit?
Dusty and I have been
So
doing
what?
Australia. No, no, no. Well, let me speak. Let me
That
speak.
March for Australia's only
Let
existed
me
since
speak.
August.
Let me speak. Let me
30
Ah,
speak.
seconds
No,
each,
that
guys.
right.
Hey, Jess,
My
by all
it,
means,
audio's not
you
correctly
can
put
go
on.
hard, Jess, however you like, mate. Rob can stand up to it, no
There we go.
dramas. Just 30 seconds each. So the first question outline it,
Thank
Jesse.
goodness.
Rob
I hope that
respond,
was
and then
already
Jesse
heard.
again. And as many questions as you want, Jesse, until Rob.
So Jesse, who is in Sydney, married to Beck Freedom or whatever, uh, was very upset with Rob McMullen, who is also a part of the Queensland team. And I don't really care. We don't really care about the drama. There's apparently some drama where like Jesse's getting a bit full of himself and thinking he can tell people who they can and can't talk to. But I'm more interested in, was
I
it
didn't do
here?
all of it, but I mean, I contributed pretty heavily because I'd already been doing that shit with Dusty for years. I just don't really care about all this bickering. I just don't. I mean, you guys are in Sydney. It's like 1,000 k's away.
I forgot about this. This is funny though.
I've
Yeah,
done the
but
last.
I just don't really think you understand what MFA actually is then, to be fair. Like, and it's nothing against you. It's not like I understand what you're saying, but I think Bender's been dishonest with everyone, and I think you
Yeah, there's so many levels to this drama that they apparently have because so and so's being is a liar. They're like the head of it all, but then like these other people they were cool with, but they're also kind of like, fuck yous, and it's so
the
confusing.
way it has.
But I mean, what does it matter now? I mean, I get around
Hang
just
on,
trying to
let's.
help people do something. Um, so I was just doing stuff there. Like I just want to. Well, but I
And
mean,
the
it
fact
might
is,
have
no,
also just
but the fact
come
is,
together
hang on,
really
hang on,
quick,
hang on,
you
hang on,
know.
hang on. I'll let you speak. So
Oh,
hang on,
yeah,
just
you
let me get
spoke.
this out. The
Mm.
fact is, if you and Scott want to go and do your events
Yeah, here
with
we go.
Bender and Dusty, go and do them. But the fact that you guys are using the March for Australia label, you're being sneaky, trying to start new websites, being disingenuous, and then all of this is
Man,
that's got to
look,
stop. Then go and do your
yeah,
own thing, and good luck to you guys. Seriously, good luck to you.
great. Well, I'll just refer back to what I said before. I mean, it's not my website. I didn't do any of that shit. I don't have the energy for this drama
I'm trying to find that right.
through it. At the end of the day,
Scott mentioned in the debate tonight about but no one ever
Oh yeah,
polished or anything like that.
fucking.
So
yeah,
I,
fair
I
enough,
actually
man.
think I actually think we're doing a pretty good job. And if you guys want to go on with your events, good luck to you. But stop trying to steal that label. And I know it hasn't been trademarked and all that shit, and potentially because of you guys, because of the Queensland team, we're looking into this shit. But
Well, it's good to
just,
do.
just
I
get
mean,
rid of it. No,
yeah,
no, 100% it is. But just if you guys go on with your own thing,
Well, it's
but
good
get
to
rid of
do.
the labels and stop trying to ride on the coattails of March for Australia because clearly you guys don't align with our values.
Oh God,
And
it's
you
Jesse,
so
clearly had
funny.
no idea what actually we were about.
hey
well,
Jesse,
I'm.
just let me quickly ask you, and
Mm.
Rob, you'll be able to respond. But Jesse, would you be open to a gentleman's
I just want to
your
get.
intellectual property? I understand.
Like we can be two separate
Here we go.
nationalist
Surely.
uh, marches, organizations. You guys do your thing. We'll do our thing. We'll let sleeping dogs lay. We don't have to sling shit at each other. Just go and do it. Stop stealing our banner and our logos. Just go and do your own thing. You guys
Well, I'm
Scott's got a
totally
big
happy with that.
following. Scott's got a big following. He can get the numbers. He can do his own event. March for Australia is going to do our own event on Australia Day in Queensland that's separate from whatever you guys are doing. Okay,
Oh.
and that's fine.
So there you have it. Jesse says they're going to be doing their own thing in Queensland. Um, which, to be fair, Queensland's quite big, so that doesn't necessarily mean Brisbane. My immediate thoughts was Brisbane, to be fair. So maybe that's my bad, but I immediately thought that. But anyways, it's been since sort of banged around about. Yeah, here we go. It's been banged around about, I guess, as to what they really are going to do. Let me just. Good. Can we? Nah, we'll just bring it back. So where was it? I think it is a mistake to run parallel campaigns in Queensland on Australia Day and subsequently. Notwithstanding the breakaway Queensland, we're all calling it that. Queensland group is running on a softer civic nationalism platform. Again, when they say civic nationalism, I really just think they mean like a nationalist liberal. Like, nationalist liberals can also be like anti-immigration. It's not that unique an idea to like the extreme far right. Anyway, Beck Freedom then says March for Australia has always had several locations running right across Queensland. This will continue on in the same way it has the previous two events. So in other words, like all the local shit, like I think they had one in Townsville and a few other like the town cities really. They're not going to get much. They're not really going to draw that much attention. Brisbane is obviously the big place to hold it at when it comes to Queensland. So that'll be interesting. How that results. Oh, yeah, that's Beck. I didn't even mean to show that. There's our anchor angel herself, folks. Oh, look at her go. It's funny with the meth allegation that they're slinging at Scotty because I've had some people tell me who are like in health, who work in like the health industry, having, just watched these things from afar, maybe me showing them stuff, whatever, and they peg her for a meth taker, for a meth smoker, on the basis of like just her makeup. Apparently, it's like a whole thing of meth makeup, basically. Peacocking, apparently it's called. Anyway, not important. So then again, the drama of like Queensland breakaway team and why they left and this and that was burled back up again. Um, but you want Scott and Dusky, Dusty gone. That's why Bender left. No, I'm great friends with Dusty, and Bender was one of my, oh, with Dusty and one Bender was one of my best mates. Did you not have friends before all this, Beck? Spambot knows he, who is Bender, sorry, knows he or Dusty were never at risk of losing their positions, even if other team members may have wanted Bender gone at the beginning. He knows I was 100% backing him and wasn't going to let it happen. It was only ever Scott for me, and later it was Rob McMullen, who we'll listen to a bit about in that video. Uh, which I find interesting because before it was Bender was the liar. Doesn't sound like it's adding up just on the get-go. Like I look, man, I'm a drama queen lover. I love fucking getting all the gossip. I love sussing out what's going on. Oh, we're just in Beck's like thing that I've saved. Let me just get another image up. Um, no, it's yeah here. Yeah, and then no one. Yeah, no. Oh yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, we do want this one. So, reverting back to that impressive drawing. Australia's two parts. Ethno-nationalism built on bloodlines, that's old white Australia thinking, or civic nationalism built on values, character, duty, and mateship. We can cling to the bloodline mindset, or we can embrace the civic nationalism that actually built this. They're all trying to like come up with like they're all trying to throw their ideas about throw their arguments about why their nationalism was better. Was it the ethno aspect or was it the civic aspect? Again, this isn't a real fucking distinction that they have. Um, and then Beck Freeman says, "Oh, there's just good old nationalism, which is in between the two." Beck, that's not real. That's not a real thing. That's not a real thing, Beck. It's not true. I'm sorry. That's just not a thing. Like, what is the thing between the two? What do you get between bloodline and ideas? Oh, the people. It's always like, and they get offended when you point out that like they're dumb as fuck. Anyway, I had actually also just recently come across some interesting things that only just sort of came out as of like what yesterday or today. Oops. Let me just get so gonna do this first. Now we'll go with this one first. Okay, so let me just. Wait, what we want? There we go. Yep, cool. So we got a text message back and forth leak of Jesse Stewart, who we've just been listening to before, and Joel Davis, the guy I've just been talking stuff about in regards to him being thrown in jail. Them talking to each other, organizing for MFA. I think this was for October 19th. Jesse Stewart, which, did I already know his last name was Stewart? I think I did. Something badly needs to be done about Queensland before Australia Day. Oh, not even. This wasn't even about. Okay, so this was even lead up. This would have been in lead up to the break off. We were stuck between a rock and a hard place and had to make the best of a bad lot for this one, but we have time to get this right. Then Joel Davis says if Matt Trehe doesn't want to mix his brand with NSN, maybe he could send NWA to Brisbane to run Australia Day. NWA being National Workers Alliance. Uh, and try and launch a Brisbane chapter of their org off the back of it because NSN is going full send in Melbourne. Man, we never get the fun shit here in Brisbane on Australia Day. Well, there you go. But that's a big travel expense, so they might not be keen to do it. Other than that, I'm not sure exactly what the solution is because we don't have an equivalent of Trehe or Beck and Jesse in Brisbane who can take the reins. Lawrence, who is what's news, to be clear, Lawrence is a good kid, but he also probably isn't fit to be the guy, not a strong enough personality, which I'm sure he would not like to hear. He seems like a guy who's only got personality. Anyway, following this, there was also an article that came out basically talking about how uh, the rallies are becoming recruitment channels for the NSN. Links between the organisers and a series of anti-immigration marches in Sydney and neo-Nazis have been exposed. Right. It's not just Sydney though, you know. Prompting experts to warn the March for Australia rallies could become an active recruitment channel for them. The March for Australia rallies were a series. Yeah, we know what they were. We know what they were. Then earlier this month, an anti-Jewish demonstration, yeah, by the Nazis, who can now reveal a key organizer. What did you? The Sunday Telegraph just get up to date with like fucking 6 months old news now? 5 months? 4 months? She also hit out. Keep in mind, this thing's only been around for like 4 months. Like they're hot shit now. Who knows? So yeah, like Beck Freedom like was a bit sad about Matthew Grutters, who's the South Afrikaner guy, a part of the NSN. He got deported. Blah blah blah. She's sad about it. Also criticized people doxing neo-Nazis, saying she's always defend the NSN's freedom of political expression. I mean, to be fair, they word it always as like anyone's political expression. This is probably attempting to be a hack job article, but it's only going to bolster the fucking MFA people more, unfortunately. The Telegraph last week confirmed from multiple sources that March for Australia has had the effect of helping NSN's recruitment drive 100%. After the neo-Nazis credited the rallies with sparking a surge in new membership as they aim to create a white Australia political party. A video from the August rally in Sydney emerged last month showing Walker interacting with a prominent member of the NSN in Sydney. I believe that was Joel Davis again. Comes as her partner and fellow March for Australia organiser Jesse Stewart has been exposed to have made several offensive comments. Oh my god, don't just say offensive. Fuck me. Yeah. I'm pretty sure the Telegraph is Murdoch news too, including referring to people as Jewish pedophiles on X. Yeah, he's a Nazi. He, I originally pegged him as a white supremacist because he hadn't said anything about Jews yet, and now that I think it's because he's now around and talking to NSN people more, or even if it's not NSN specifically, but just not like neo-Nazi like people, people who love Hitler and all that, around him because of all this shit. He's just more exposed to it, and it's not that much of a big leap for a white supremacist. Uh, Another murder targeted a prominent Melbourne lawyer who had remarked that the diggers fought against the Nazis on Anzac Day. Uh, they actually, to be fair, they didn't. Oh dear. Oh God. This is like the actual weakest criticisms of Nazis and fascists. Stewart responded, "Today's a good day to remind everyone that the diggers fought proxy wars for Jewish bankers who wanted to flood our country with foreigners and usurp our identity." So, he's Jew posting. He's JQ posting, sorry. Jesse's aunt, Karen Stewart, told the Telegraph that she and her family have grave concerns for her nephew's behaviour, adding the rallies have an undercurrent of white supremacy. These rallies are divisive in nature as they talk openly about skin colour, and that's something beyond any of our control. Miss Stewart said her brother Tim, who is Jesse's father, had been estranged from the family since 2020 after being actively involved in QAnon. The Jesse I see publicly today is nothing like the teen with whom I shared music, movies, and late-night chats, she said. Miss Stewart added, anything aligned with with a neo-Nazism and a racist standpoint is totally unacceptable and must be denounced. Never again. Which wait till you get to hear what he has thoughts on. Miss Stewart added, oh yeah. Miss Walker told her that her empathy for we don't have to like what they say, but they deserve to be able to say it, same bullshit. Her partner, Mr. Stewart, denied any involvement with the NSM, but defended his offensive comments about Jewish people, saying the leading cause of Jewish criticism is Jewish behavior. He said his father's activism was completely separate from his political views. The pair claim that everyone was welcome at their marches as long as they didn't incite violence. Yep, yep. Since the NSN's national gathering at Bacchus Marsh, whatever, several months ago, they appear to have rapidly escalated their tactics. They've removed their masks. They've violently attacked Aboriginal encampment. They're seeking to mobilize nationally. This is true. Uh, Take by Beck is the headline is cooked, but it's actually not a bad article. They did misquote me a few times, though. I've posted the link for the article with paywall removed, along with our answers, so you can compare if you'd like. They actually quoted some of more extreme quotes, which I didn't think they'd do. Her partner, Mr. Stewart, denied any involvement, yeah, saying leading cause of Jewish criticism is Jewish behavior. Leading cause of white people criticism is white people behavior, I guess. Maybe he's open to the idea. I remember, yeah, it says here, my father's been a passionate researcher. Yeah, yeah. About Father Tim spoke about conspiracy theories in front of you growing up. My father has been a passionate researcher on multiple topics such as politics and health and has been this way for multiple decades. Well, the headline is accurate, as anyone who has been following your organization can attest to. Most people, I'm one of them. Most people won't because they have been recruited or been booted from your groups for the free speech you claim to champion. Quite literally, your Telegram is managed by mods who are NSN supporting, if not actual members, and they are running actual recruiting posts over in other groups on Facebook. A Telegram is managed by. Why is everyone spelling managed wrong? Did he spell it wrong too? No, he didn't. MFA team members and one friend. One friend. Well, there you go. Joel Davis. Ah, damn it. None of which are members of the NSN. Ah, well, that's it. Pack it up, folks. Guess she proved it wrong. No one was booted for free speech. They quit because they didn't want to be part of the team and actually work as team members of a nationwide movement. Actually, I think you guys just wanted them gone. Oh, yeah, that's that. And that's that. Fucking Dusty. Jesus Christ, you look like a fucking Muppet. Alright, I'm just checking to see, have we gone through everything? That may have been almost everything. I think that's everything for now on that. Um, because then I'm just gonna cancel that, cancel that, cancel that, cancel that, then post replies. Yep. So this is what's news's I don't know, fucking X. But that's not even what's important, actually. Something to keep in mind with What's News. They are not that popular on YouTube. They've got a few. Oh my God, he did an interview with this guy, the guy who's like fucking. I may watch some of these in the future. These are insane. He has some, yeah, he does get to do some interviews with some people, which would be actually kind of interesting to watch. But other than that, like, he doesn't get that many views. It's not nothing, but yeah, he's just started though. I think he really, I think he literally did just start in. Why does it say 105, but it only shows, oh, latest, oldest? Well, that's even more confusing. Oh, well, that one's 4 years ago. I think he's on Rumble and all the other fucking, you know, right wing shit. You may notice as well. Oh, does he not do it here? Because on here, you'll notice it's news with three S's. I think, I could be wrong, but I think it's what's news SS. Like, Schwarzstaffel, the fucking SS Nazis. So, yeah, Christian ethno-nationalist. Um, and he honestly, when I started watching the debate for a little bit, I actually thought he was going to be a lefty just because the way he initially looked and like the drum kit behind him, I was like, oh, this guy's going to be like a stereotype just come out of uni, um, like a woke skull or whatever. And no, he was a Nazi. Fuck. He also has written, he also has a Substack where he writes shit. We are probably definitely going to look into this stuff at some point because, oh my God, he has a picture of the Eureka Stockade, talking about the abandonment of Australian industry and the portrayal of the working man. He's a Nazi. He doesn't actually have that much stuff on here, probably because it didn't do too well. Didn't do too well. Um, Anyway, and then there was this whole other thing. It's not even probably going to end up being like that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, but academics who say they are pro-white and have ethnic conception of Australia turn spotlight. What the fuck just happened to me? Okay, on Sydney's Champion College. To put it simply, there is like one or two professors, deans, or whatever, at a Catholic school, Catholic university, college, and are straight up white supremacists of a form. They're at least white nationalists. They do the whole like, oh, we need to have a white majority and an Anglo-Celtic slash European supermajority in the country. Like to be clear, these are just gateway means of going into what is eventually Nazism. Like you do like the white nationalism bit, which is oh, I think we should have a supermajority of Anglo-Celts in Australia, a country that, has always been white for like what? Maybe 200 years of the whole fucking lifespan of the world? Oh my God. Um, but then they very quickly, it's not that much further to take. It doesn't take you that much further just to jump to uh, being like, and I think they are the, non-Anglo-Celts are lesser in a genetic form, and then it's not that much harder to then jump the next thing where it is, I think the Jews are trying to make us believe that this is a good thing that we're currently doing. It's, it, I love how they see so much of a divide, so much of a wall between them and what is a Nazi. And it's like, bro, you're like two questions answered away from it. Oh, but I'm pretty sure he is chill. This guy did say he's chill with the White Australia Party, White Australia WAP, which was formed this year by the Nationalist Socialist Network. Comments were directly responded. Yeah, WAP, the WAP Party. The WAP. I believe European peoples should have their own homelands like every other race where they are unquestioned supermajorities, and that is legitimate for them to organize politically to preserve or achieve that reality. Whether or not I would vote for the White Australia Party would on the WAP would depend on what other parties were running. Ideally, I'd rather vote for a pro-white and explicitly pro-Christian party. I don't even think you actually care about the Christian part. Or maybe you do. Yeah, here we go. Ethno-religious nationalist, he says. Maybe that does is what he cares more about. Which I then think, so you're a theocrat, which is still a form of fascism. It's just a type. Anyway, yeah. That is Stephen McInery, or however you say his name. That is the guy that we were just looking at. And he says the article in today's Guardian by so and so accurately and fairly describes my position. I am grateful to her. I'll make no further comment now. Back to my summer rest, whatever. So, I mean, he doesn't deny it, to be clear. Like, I think it's actually kind of funny because he's basically just been like, "Yep, that's me." I guess it's because she didn't jump to saying she didn't jump to the conclusion that he's a Nazi because of it. Maybe it's because he's Catholic, just some assumed like, oh well, there's going to be some disagreement there, hey. Yeah, it's not a good time to watch this stuff at the moment. Oh yeah, he was found guilty over doing a Nazi gesture, which by the way was at a NWA, not the cool one. No, the National Workers Alliance, Treehees thing. That's where he did it. He used to be on Neighbours. Apparently wasn't even that good on Neighbours. I don't fucking know. I don't watch that shit. Oh, don't be using Paul Hogan. That's not fair. Anyway, so that's that. That's him. That's them. What's news is in Queensland. I don't know where in Queensland, Lawrence, to be clear. So he is in Queensland. I don't know. Oh my God, he has his own Substack. I don't want to subscribe to it. I just want to read it. Oh, wait. What? Yeah. Okay. It's just like a fancier version of it. All right. Cool. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try and do this every week, at least as long as there's a sort of good handful of stuff to cover. If it's only like 5 minutes, then I'll probably just like post the initial stuff instead. But this stuff I feel I could to go from through all of it, it kind of helps to talk through it all because it helps add some broader context and just yeah. And I'm not going to be doing article versions of these anymore because I might post article versions in the sense of just the video alone, but uh, I think this is a much easier format to do this kind of content. There's just so much going in one day at a time. Um, I'm going to be focusing more of my actual written article writing for real shit, like serious stuff. Like this is fun to watch and laugh at and have a good giggle to, while also acknowledging that is a potential threat. Don't get me wrong, it is a potential threat, and that's also why it's worth covering. But I'd rather put my thinking cap on how I express myself uh, on more important issues to me, like homelessness and whatnot. I think I'd rather use it for things that are pushing forward as opposed to beating back at the past. So yeah, um, what is it that people do? What do they say? Like and subscribe, put a comment down below. I don't know if you hate Nazis or whatever, something like that. Yeah, cool.